Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Techwords podcast. Smartphone cycles have gotten so quick these days that even before 2024 gets over, you have. Okay, it's Atharv from the future. Sorry for that, but me and JT Bhai recorded the whole video on Zoom, and there was no way to preview it whether the audio and everything is fine. So by the time we finished recording and the meeting converted and I reviewed the footage, and my audio was so bad that we couldn't use that footage. So I'll be just doing this solo, and whatever points JT Bhai mentioned, I'll include that. So without any further ado, let's begin. So, smartphone cycles have gotten so quick these days that even before 2024 gets over, you have phones with next year's best chipsets, the Snapdragon 8 Elite and Dimensity 9400, already coming out. So, before we start talking about those phones in the upcoming weeks and as we continue our normal schedule, I thought we can quickly revisit all the phones that were launched in 2024 and give them the title of best in each category. So um, obviously we had not used these phones ourselves, so we called JT Bhai, and then the entire thing got ruined. So I'll skip that part. So there are 9 categories, and how we are going to do it is me, Gautam, JT Bhai, and one of my other friends from college have made their lists of their respective smartphones which they think deserve to be the winners in each category, and those smartphones become the contenders or the nominees, from among which me and JT Bhai chose the ultimate winners. So without any further ado, let's begin. The first category is best budget phone, and the nominees for this category were Lava Agni 3, CMF Phone 1, Motorola Edge 50 Neo, and iQOO Z9. So, after discussion between me and JT Bhai, first of all, they first of all we didn't define budget as such. So when I asked my friend, I'd given him the budget of 20K. So that's how the Moto Edge 50 Neo came into the picture. But if JT Bhai had to pick one phone, it would be the iQOO Z9, and my pick was the CMF Phone 1, and that's because CMF has done a really good job with that phone, and what they were able to provide at that price point during the sale, you could get it for as low as rupees 13 triple nine or 13,000 rupees, and at that price point, you get like a unique customization feature of interchanging your back panel, which is unheard of at this price point. Leave any other price point, then you get a good chipset, the Dimensity 7200 if I'm not wrong, and you also get the same nothing OS which you get in their higher end phones. The 30,000 40,000 rupees phones get the same OS which the CMF Phone 1 has. So considering all those points, me and JT Bhai came to conclusion that the CMF Phone 1 wins the best budget phone category. If I had to give a special mention, I would give it to the Lava Agni 3, because that's another really innovative phone at the budget price point with the screen at the back as well. So that is something Lava is trying something new every time with their Lava Agni series. And JT Bhai's recommendation, iQOO Z9, if you want a no nonsense phone. Moving on to the next category, the best mid range phone. So the nominees for this category were Vivo T3 Ultra, OnePlus 12R, Galaxy S23, and Realme GT60. So JT Pai obviously recommends the Realme GT60, and although it's not like a, I had decided the budget for a mid-range phone to be 40,000, considering that um, the market has obviously increased. People are willing to pay more for uh, their phone. So I decided the price is under 40K, but the Realme GT60 is way cheaper than that. Um, Honestly, after a lot of discussion, my pick was the Vivo T3 Ultra, because it comes with the cameras that are tuned by Zeiss, and um, that is similar to all of their other flagship phones. So photo quality is really good at that price point. It doesn't compromise on performance as well. You get the Dimensity 8200 if I'm not wrong. So you get that also. And overall, Vivo is doing a really good job in terms of service centers. They have over 600 service centers, and the overall, like, a lot of YouTubers who have gone to the service centers, they have had a good experience overall. So in that sense, I had chosen the Vivo T3 Ultra, but JT Bhai then told me about Realme UI and FunTouch OS. Realme UI is a bit cleaner, and it's, although it has bloatware, it's easier to delete the bloatware apps. But in Vivo's FunTouch OS, there are a lot of apps which you cannot delete at all, and all of those things. So considering that in mind, like JT Bhai told, it's a really close contest between these two, but just because of Realme UI being slightly better than FunTouch OS, it takes the win for this category. So Realme GT60 is the winner of the best mid-range phone. Like I said, Vivo T3 Ultra comes close second. OnePlus 12R I think also deserves a special mention. It's a phone that kind of went under the radar, but that's another performance phone you can look at. But um, now that like there are competitors like the Vivo T3 Ultra and iQOO Neo 9 Pro, so it kind of went under the radar. Coming to the next category, it's the most innovative smartphone, and the nominees for this were pretty unanimous, and there is only one nominee, and that is the Huawei Mate X-T Ultimate. And I think this phone definitely deserves to win this award. It's a unanimous vote, and you also have to consider that this is a tri-folding phone, first time ever attempted by Huawei. It launches in the market in China, and it beats the sales of Apple in China. So kudos to Huawei, and it's not easy for them also because of all the chip wars that are going on between the US and China. Um, they look crippled from the outside, but the amount of innovations they're doing, despite of that, it's truly commendable. And the Huawei Mate X-T Ultimate definitely deserves to be the most innovative smartphone of the year. Coming to special mention in this category is the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro. Um, in India, at least, that phone has been launched, so I included that as my pick for phones launched in India. So that phone is another innovative phone by Vivo. It's really thin compared to Samsung's um, foldables and other things, and it also comes with two ultrasonic fingerprint scanners, one in the cover screen and as well as in the unfolded screen. Like Samsung is not able to give it even in the cover screen. I think they have the side fingerprint scanner for the folds, if I'm not wrong. So kudos to Vivo on that with their X Fold 3 Pro. Moving on to the next category, it's the most improved brand, and the nominees for this category are Motorola and Lava. I think after a lot of discussion with JT Bhai, it was kind of clear that Motorola is the clear winner. Lava is just being consistent year over year. They have not disappeared like Micromax, so I just included that there. So Lava might be a special mention, but Motorola hands down has improved over the years. I mean, if you see, they now have 6% market share in the Indian smartphone market, considering that they just made their comeback, I think 1 or 2 years back. That's really commendable. And the other thing was uh, that a lot of people last year were complaining that their phones camera optimizations weren't that good, and Motorola has listened to that and they're improving on that. I hope next year they improve on the software updates. They're promising 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of secure software updates, but they're delaying it a lot, and they have been promising reviewers that yeah, we are working on fixing this, and hopefully it gets fixed next year. So most improved brand goes to Motorola. Coming to the next category, it's the best value phone, and the nominees are CMF Phone 1, iQOO Neo 9 Pro, iPhone 16. So this was like a really tough decision for us because all these three phones are super value for money at that particular price point. The CMF Phone 1 under 20k at 13k is the best value phone you can ever get. The iQOO Neo 9 Pro, a mid-range phone which has everything possible, good cameras, good performance, you can't go wrong with that. And the iPhone 16, for those who have the money, the iPhone 16 is a no-brainer, especially for longevity now that it comes with the latest A18 chip, all the Apple Intelligence features, and um, all the other bells and whistles of the iPhone. So it was a really difficult decision, but I think both JTY and me agreed that the award needs to go to the CMF Phone 1. At that price of 13,999, the CMF phone one's value is unmatched for what they're giving. I don't know how CMF managed to pull that off, but yeah, that I think it was a mutual decision that the CMF phone one is the best value phone. Moving to the next category, it's the best small phone and or compact phone you can call it. But one thing here is that a small phone is not really small anymore, because small phones are just basically big phones but bigger than smaller than the biggest. So basically the biggest phones are 6.7 and 6.8 inch at this moment, and we just call 6.1 inch phones compact. So even my iPhone 15 for example is 6.1 inches and it's compact. um, the trend of small phones below 6 inches are slowly dying, with the iPhone 16 Pro also moving to 6.3 inches, and Asus Zenfone now launching their mini phone this year. So it's a dying trend, but there are a few nominees in this category as well. And the nominees are Galaxy S24, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16. So I think unanimously, if we had to pick between these three, it was the Galaxy S24. And um, the Galaxy S24, because of its 120 hertz refresh rate, better Galaxy AI implementation, and the extra camera, which is almost equal to or slightly better than the iPhone 16. I think the S24 takes the lead over the iPhone 16 by a slight margin in the best compact phone, and this was a unanimous decision between me and JT Bhai. So, best small phone goes to Galaxy S24. Close runner up is the iPhone 16. Coming to the next category, it's the worst smartphone. Yeah, let's talk about the nominees. And the nominees are the Galaxy S23 FE, the Galaxy A55, the OnePlus Nord CE4 Lite, and the HMD Crest Max. So initially, my nomination was the Galaxy S23 FE. Every year in India, they launch the FE phone with good specs, but at a really overpriced price. So I think that was my worst phone. But Gautam's nomination, the OnePlus Nord CE4 Lite, really struck with me, and I think I'd change my nomination to that because it comes with a Snapdragon 695 chip, which they've been using since the past 3 years with the Nord CE2 Lite, Nord CE3 Lite. Just because it was their best-selling phone, OnePlus thought they could get away with it. So that probably has to be the worst phone. OnePlus could have done way better with that. They could have given a better chipset and made it a bit more powerful or things like that. The 695 just doesn't make the cut in 2024. But then JT Bhai told me about the HMD Crest Max. So this phone is, I think, the first phone that was launched as part of the HMD brand, which is basically the parent company which had the copyright or whatever you call it name for Nokia, and then the, they had to let go of that, and they are now launching phones under the HMD brand, and I think that was the HMD Crest Max was the first one that came with that price point. And the brand had sent this unit to JT Bhai for reviewing, and JT Bhai had made one shot on it, and then he understood that that phone doesn't provide what it's promised. And I think HMD had put out the main feature for this phone was to be that it can be repaired at home, but the landing page for the spare parts weren't there. And then when you call up the service centers, they don't have spare parts available. So it defeats the entire purpose of the marketing and the feature on which it was being sold. And when JT Bhai conveyed these feedback to the team, they said, I mean, instead of accepting the criticism and improving on their next phone, just they just told him, "Give us the phone back. Give us the phone back. Don't make any video on the channel and things like that." So that kind of behavior is very like shady, and obviously it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. And then JT Bhai told me the best thing ever of this phone. So basically, when you keep your phone locked and you unlock it, I mean, you don't have any problems, right? But with the HMD Crest Max, when you leave the phone locked for around 15 to 20 minutes and then you unlock it, you get shown an ad. Wow, HMD, wow. I didn't expect this from HMD, the iconic brand which launched so many Nokia phones, which are memories for us. And so I think after listening to all these great features of the HMD Crest Max, we both came to a unanimous decision that this phone is the worst smartphone of the year. Coming to the next two categories, which are the main categories, heavy lifters, and that is best cameras. Every year, the fight between the S24 Ultra and the iPhone 16 Pro Max always is there. But this year, there are two new entrants, that is the Vivo X100 Pro and the Vivo V40 Pro. The Vivo V40 Pro was included by JT Bhai, and that's because he's used the phone for a really long time and he's tested the cameras in and out compared to the other phones which he has used scarcely. So he would declare the Vivo V40 Pro as the winner. So I decided to split this into two. So basically, if budget is no barrier for you and you can spend any amount of money to get the best smartphone camera possible, then the S24 Ultra takes the cut just because of the zoom capabilities it has over the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So if you have a preference for iOS or if you have a preference for Android, depending on that, you can choose the iPhone 16 Pro or the S24 Ultra. You won't go wrong with either, but um, the winner for the best cameras high end is S24 Ultra. And if you don't have that great of a budget and you still want a good smartphone camera, then the Vivo V40 Pro is the way to go, according to JT Bhai and his testing. So yeah, that's how we split the best camera category, and it's a win-win for both of us. Coming to the last category, and that is the best smartphone for 2024. And the nominations are iPhone 16, S24 Ultra, and iPhone 16 Pro. It is pretty obvious every year. It has to be the battle between the two greats. And my personal pick was the iPhone 16, and I'll tell you why. Because apart from the 60 hertz display and the Apple Intelligence features not come yet. I mean, that's gonna come soon, but that's not like a huge deal breaker. But I think overall the iPhone 16 this year was um, a good value phone, but that uh, it's not like the category isn't best value phone, but I think a best smartphone should also have the best value. And the cameras are also back to vertical. You can record spatial videos. Then you have the dynamic island, you have the action button, you have the camera control if you want that. So, and you get the A18 chip, biggest of all. They have not skimped on that like they have done with the 13, 14, and 15. So I think the iPhone 16 deserve to be the best smartphone award. But then you obviously look at the S24 Ultra. The S24 Ultra is an all in all great smartphone. I mean, you get a really big display, 6.8-inch display. You think, what do you want to do with it? You have 120 hertz. You can watch videos, multimedia, if that's your thing. You got an S Pen. You want to make notes. You want to do signatures on the go. You can do that. You think you want to edit photos. You can do that because the cameras are really versatile. It has a really good battery. It checks all the boxes. I mean, if you have that kind of budget and you're looking for one smartphone that does it all, then the S24 Ultra really takes the cake. And the best of all is the Samsung Galaxy AI integration into the whole UI. That's really well done compared to Apple this year. And since this year has been the year of AI and Apple has to be playing catch up, I think S24 Ultra deserves to be the smartphone of the year. And so, having done that back and forth a bit with JT Bhai, I think we came to the conclusion that this year's best smartphone for 2024 is the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Kudos to Samsung for every year putting out a really good phone. But before I close out the video, I think I want to address two more things. One is uh, generally other YouTubers include a best foldable category, but I didn't include that because there are very few foldables in India. But one thing I wanted to highlight is that Samsung is falling behind in the race of foldables. There have been too complacent because they were the OGs. For 5 years, they had no competition, so they just thought they could get away by just refining it every year, just like how Apple approaches things. But no, the competition is catching up, especially in the Android scene. You have Vivo, you have Xiaomi, you have Honor in the global markets, Huawei Honor, whatever you want to call it. All of them are giving a tough fight to Samsung. You see the latest Honor, I don't remember, I think it's the V2, but the foldable phone which they have made. It's so thin. I think the thickness is um, almost less than the Z Fold 6. Leave that, the triple folding phone from Huawei is thinner than the Z Fold 6. So I think Samsung should really up their game in the foldables. And the other thing I want to talk about is Infinix and Techno. They're doing a really good job in the budget, especially under 15K. They're launching a really good phones. The Infinix Zero series or Note series, one of the two, Infinix Note series, if I'm not wrong, and the Techno Pova series, they're doing a really good job, and I think they are also slowly gaining market share, transition holdings. So, yeah, shout out to Infinix and Techno as well. And last but not the least, I asked JT Bhai for his highlight in smartphones of 2024, and there was no highlight as such. It was a mid-year for smartphones, except for the AI features. Most smartphone brands aren't innovating too much, but JT Bhai and me included seem excited for 2025 because not only do the phones that come with the latest chips, the 8 Elite and the Dimensity 9400, both these chips are extremely powerful, and it's going to be crazy how powerful phones are going to be in 2025. And not only that, since the silicon carbide batteries are being manufactured especially by these Chinese companies, you'll be getting 6,000 or even more than that mAh batteries, because of which you'll get really long um battery life, and it'll also complement the really powerful chipset. So 2025 seems to be a very good year for smartphones. Let's see how that pans out. So that was it for this video, the smartphone awards video. It didn't go as planned, and it was all thanks to my laptop and its lagging issues. But yeah, hope you like this video. If you want us to make this video every year, do let us know. We will do it. And Gautam was busy with the exam, so he couldn't join. So if you want him to join next year, do leave a comment. If you have any different opinions about which smartphone has to be the winner in a particular category, you can let us know in the comments below. We can have a discussion. And yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's the end of the year, and there are just a couple of more videos left. We'll cover the cars and bike launches for the year with Navneet, and a yearbook 2024, and we'll close out the year with that. Having said that, that's it for this video. If you want to watch something else, I think YouTube will recommend whichever is best for you here or here, and we'll catch you there. Bye.